And this is not a racial thing. Mm-hmm. Let's not segregate cigars.
No, right. No.
This is a unifier, and that has to be in everybody's mind.
What's up, everybody? StickMan #1 here. Reggie Kimble. I usually do that the other way. Reggie Kimble, aka StickMan 1. But you know how I get. I get excited a lot of times. So anyway, welcome to the StickMan Podcast. Just in case you forgot, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe, all that shit. Check out the StickMen Podcast. We're on YouTube, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts. Download it on whatever your favorite streaming platform is. And I'm here with StickMan Simp, as always. What's up, Simp?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
All right, I'm good, man.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm feeling some kind of way today, but the one thing that balances it out when I have a great guest on the StickMen Podcast, and the great guest I have today is Oscar Rodriguez of GTO Cigars. What's up, Oscar?
Hey.
Thanks for coming on.
The honor's mine.
Hey. So we're going to do a little puff sip chat today. Talk to my man. Try not to talk about golf anymore. I said what I got to say about that. I'm done. So
on to the next
one. So first of all, thank you to our sponsors too today. Our sponsors, ASW Distillery, gave us a great bottle of Duality. If you haven't had Duality yet, check it out in your local liquor store. One of Atlanta's finest distilleries, and they do it for us all the time. Check out the Duality episode also that's coming out very soon. We had a great time chopping it up with Nick Vaughn, who's one of the main guys over there at ASW. So give them some love. We're going to give them some love today by drinking their whiskey. That's how we're going to give them some love. All right. So, hey, cheers, gentlemen.
Okay.
All right. Salud. All right. And, of course, it would be ludicrous if we weren't actually puffing on GTO cigars.
There you go.
Oscar, what are we puffing on today? I want you to tell me. I'm puffing on the...
So this is our newest release for the year. It's called the La Cura, which is Spanish for the word the cure. Uh-huh. And the reason I came out with it is because I figured everybody needs a cure for 2021.
I know, that's right.
A cure for bad days on the golf course. I said I wasn't going to go there again, but okay. All right, so La Cura. La Cura. I got to say it right. And what are you puffing on, sir?
No, actually, I'm smoking.
Oh, you're doing the same thing?
Okay. The same one.
Okay.
I love the Presidente.
Okay.
I'm kind of like a finesse guy, like I get all prissy and things. I like a little long one right there just to enjoy it. So it's available in a Toro, which the gentlemen are smoking. Presidente, 7 1/4 by 50. The Toros are 6 by 54. I do have a Perfecto, which is the original size when it came out. We call it a Grand Perfecto because it's 60 in the middle, then it tapers down to 50 with a beautiful pigtail.
Nice, yeah.
And we also have a Robusto available, so a nice little 5-inch by 52 ring gauge.
Okay. Love it. So GTO Cigars, for those who know, is a great brand. I've been a fan of your cigars for a while now, and for you, this is a lifelong thing for you, right? This is a journey. If goes back with your family a long time.
Yes, sir.
And so how long has GTO been around exactly?
Our family has been making cigars for 144 years. So I'm the 4th generation. I was born on the farm. Man, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to get out. And, they keep on bringing me back in.
So this is what you know.
This is all I know. And unfortunately, but it's like we say, if only those who know smoke GTO.
I like that.
It's just a little twist. But my grandfather... He taught all of us a separate part of what we do. So we have cousins that were taught to seed, cousins that were taught to harvest, to select tobaccos. The aging process is done by another group of us. Storing, the blending is done by my grandfather, my dad, and I. My grandfather was a master blender in Cuba, so he made a lot of notable premium cigars that we smoke today. But then when they were uninvited from Cuba, so we came back to Dominican, and we started to make other lines. So we continued making premium lines, but when I took over the company 12 years ago, he passed away. I was working on Maxwell Air Force Base. I left the family because I wanted to study medicine. I enjoy smoking, but I wanted to give. I love giving to people. I'm a service guy. I love helping people. I can't see anybody in distress. I just want to come up to them and offer some kind of help. I help everybody I see. I think that's the way we're supposed to live. You know, regardless of who it is, we just help.
True.
And that is what gives us our wings when we go up to heaven.
You go.
You know, so
There you go.
That's going to be for forever. So
There
we
you
need
go.
to do the time that we're here. We need to always do the most good, and we always need to smoke the good cigars. But there's a lot of stuff out there, but it's just I wanted to give to guys that opportunity to smoke premium and not have to pay that high price. There's a lot of cigars out there, and some people don't even look at the price, and unfortunately, you need to look at it because there's bad cigars for a high price, and that whole idea that because it's over 15, it's got to be good. Well, that's the old school way of thinking. A lot of cats that can afford more expensive cigars, if it's less than 15, they won't even smoke it.
Wow.
Because if they consider it's not going to be any good because it doesn't cost, and that's not actually correct anymore. And so there are some value.
Price
cigars.
does not matter necessarily.
Not necessarily. Because there's a lot of junk out there that's between 10 and 17. I hate to tell you, but cats are just giving it away and thinking that that's good. So I'm surprised, you know. So and I'm kind of I do see that the new smoker, this new generation, does a lot of guys do know what's good. So they are becoming more knowledgeable instead of just being confused. You know, they spin this industry spins people left and right, up and down. You know that they'll sell you all kinds of crap. And if you go to Tampa and buy anything from any cat there, you're in trouble because that's not anything good. So
Wait, hold on, back it up. Nothing in Tampa is good.
Anytime companies are importing tobacco, you get whatever comes. You're not.
Wow.
Those guys aren't flying down to the farm and selecting tobaccos. The premium stuff is taken by the premium houses. They come in, they select the harvest, they store it. So Fuente comes and gets his stuff early. You know, the Davidoff people have their stuff. They have it secured and it's there early. Whatever is left is what goes to market, and what goes to market gets shipped, and whatever gets shipped is whatever. And what happens on that long journey from these countries that are far away? It comes on boat, it comes on airplane. Who stores that? You know, then you guys are trusting these knuckleheads that are down there. They're peddling, man. They're on the street, you know, just doing it. And then, I love that. You know, it is a weed. Tobacco is a weed. It grew on its own. It'll take over an area because once the plant gets tall enough, it just falls.
Okay.
So the flower itself. How many seeds does a tobacco plant have?
I have
No
clue.
idea.
Okay, so generally, they can carry anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 seeds each plant. So when this thing falls, bang! It just drops seeds everywhere. So how big are the seeds? Anybody have
No
any-
idea.
I have
They're hard to see because in a thimble you can have roughly about 1,000
In a
in
thimble?
a thimble. So that's how little they are, how minute. So the wind can carry them. When they fall, now you have 1,000 new. weeds
So
growing.
that's you're right. That's going to dominate any area.
Wow.
So as we try to perfect our growing techniques, whenever you grow, you know, you separate because a lot of scavengers try to grow next to it, and that takes away from the nutrients of the main plant. So that's why we're always trying to get those out of the way. So we leave one plant to grow. Nothing else grows around it. We're going to pull them, and then nurture that plant. Then we're going to select from all the tobaccos that we see in a certain area for a certain shade or a certain type of tobacco. We're going to pick which plant looks the best, and we're going to take that seed and germinate that. Bring that to the nursery, grow that into little small hatchlings, watch that grow, and even there we have a 50% we discard. So it's always a selection. We're making it smaller, and then finally we get to which ones grew about 4 inches and still look good, that the leaves are perfect. And it goes, okay, these
Those are the ones you want.
into planting. You know, so it's a crazy process, but a lot of cats down there,
People don't know this. What you just said right now, I don't think most people know this.
It's big.
that. You know, when I go down there, they're like, oh, and I'm like, no. You know, and then this whole thing, you know, like I just throw a lot of these little ideas out. Like, if somebody gives you a hand roll, don't smoke it. A hand roll is something. When I put the wrapper on any concoction that we've put together, it's going to go to rest 6 months.
Yeah.
Before we even put it in a cellophane. and before we market it. So if you just took somebody's hand rolled job and you're gonna put it in your mouth, you're not tasting anything. You know, your body is
that's a
drunk
subpar. That's a subpar product right there.
Wow.
Just wait. It's great. If a guy's doing that, I'm gonna honor his labor. Thank you, sir. You know, thank you for what you're doing. I'm gonna I'll buy one or two, and I'm gonna put it in my pocket. I ain't gonna smoke that. I'm gonna put it in my humidor, like on the way left side, because I don't want it to mix with my good stuff.
Yeah.
And then one day when I'm doing, not necessarily when I'm working. I tell a lot of guys too. Please don't ever call a cigar a yard guard. There's no such thing. Cigars are it's something of respect. So many people kill themselves to make this for our enjoyment.
Wow.
So you need to treat it with respect. The way you hold it, the way you talk about it, it should be honoring the whole time. There's so many people behind it. You know, so much things that have occurred. You know, so I tell people, when you cut the grass, don't put a cigar in your mouth, because if you put it, if you really feel like you need something in your mouth while you're cutting, that means you have another problem. and I call that it's a phallic.
Yeah.
And they sell rubber ones, so just buy $1 one and just suck on it all day. When you're done, get you a nice smoke.
Get you a nice smoke. That's right.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna celebrate that you cut the grass.
That's right.
That's how I like to relish something of this type of enjoyment. You slow it down, cut the grass. When you finish, sit in a chair, get you a nice bourbon, like this one right here, and light up a cigar. Say coño. You can say it in Spanish too. That word, coño.
Coño.
With an emphasis. Coño.
That means that. Yeah, man. And then smoke a cigar. You honor the grass. You honor the winds. You honor the gods. Everything that helped you get this job done. But don't put a piece of shit stick in your mouth. If it's your budget, that's one thing. Every man has his work.
That's right.
And I respect, and we all must respect every man's work. If from the guy that picks up trash to the guy who puts them in the bag to the guy who's in charge of the building, everybody has his dollar. If he can only afford a $2 cigar, that's his enjoyment. That's fine.
Don't take that from him.
Don't take that from him.
No.
So don't insult the guy. I always say this is a value cigar. It's not a cheap cigar. It's a value cigar, because that guy, that's what he can afford. And I'll say, hey, thank you. And I even make those for them. I have value cigars for those instances. Not to be considered, I'm gonna wash my car with a stick in my mouth. No, I don't put nothing in my mouth, and neither should any one of us. That's just a bad thing. So we need to learn to not do that, guys. Nothing in the mouth, while you're doing anything. You can chew on gum if you have to, but once you're done, then enjoy, because you're gonna if it's too common and you do it too easy, it's gonna go away. It's gonna become a fad.
Yeah, I've seen people having meals while they have a cigar sitting there eating there. I'm like, how you? That doesn't even seem right to eat and smoke at the same time. My cigar. If somebody's gonna deliver me a plate if I'm at a cookout or whatever, and I happen to be smoking a cigar gets set down for a while. Set it down. Put it out of the way. And even before I relight the cigar, I need to do a little lemon water, ginger beer. I got to have something that cleanses my palate to get it ready for a stick. Would you recommend that as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to back you up a little bit. 144 years. Your family has been in this industry. And then, obviously, at some point, GTO wasn't part of that legacy for 144 years. When did GTO?
Yeah, well, that was just it. When my grandfather passed away, I came back at the company and I saw what we were doing, and seeing wanting to give people a premium cigar at a better price. I decided to take these blends that we already make for other companies that circulate. I took those good blends that are still ours, because these companies didn't buy the blend; they just buy the cigar from us. So I took those blends and I just gave it a name, because you need to put a name on it. And at that time, I couldn't think. There's so many names, and you got to be careful nowadays. If you could say glass cup, because I've seen stuff like chicken on a cigar, which I would never smoke, a food item. But it's just I find it disrespectful. I think we need to. There's some rules we should follow. But then I said, well, I had I looked in the garage when they asked me, what are you going to name it? I had a 65 GTO. And it's right next to my 71, and right next to that is my 1994. I said, man, I got 3 GTOs, man. That's a great car.
Nice.
I said, I'm going to call it GTO. And plus, since my name is Oscar, G, Great, T, Tobacco, O for Oscar. Great Tobacco is from Oscar. So I thought it was cute. Just not trying to be a dick. And it's simple, easy to remember. So GTO is the way to go. I love because there's a lot of people tell me. So I throw this in there, like, other guys, when I see these guys wrapping cigars, they always come up to me and say, "Yo, dog, if you would sell a lot more cigars if you would do a rap show." And I'm like,
A rap show?
Man, I don't do no rapping stuff. Because, first of all, let's set this straight. The guys who put a wrapper on a cigar, that's pretty much the bottom level of any cigar company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not anything honorable for us. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not for the manufacturer, not the guy who owns the company.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the blend. I'll tell him how to do it, and he'll do it the way I say, and I'll check his work. That's what I do. I don't. Now, do I know how to do it? Of course I know how to do it. Because I have to check his work. I check for seams. I make sure that it's well glued, that the product is perfect round, that it's balanced, that it has good weight. Because you want a cigar that has tobacco in it. But that's for sure. So I'm not a rapper. Yeah, a roller. No. But I'm a rapper. Like I told you guys before, so I grew up, I always want to be a rapper. So don't give me a beat.
Well, we can run on beat. Let's go. So okay. Obviously, this, like you said, this is all you know. Your knowledge, man. You come from a place I haven't heard anybody else that I've spoken to in this industry talk from. I mean, the place you're coming at right now. Like in the first 10 minutes, you just dropped knowledge that I hadn't heard. What age did you kind of start gathering this? Like when you obviously it's a family legacy, but how were you when they said, you know what, Oscar, here you go?
Well, our tables are pretty big in our home. My grandfather had 64 kids, so definitely.
Wait.
Yeah.
64 kids?
Yes, he had a lot of kids. He didn't marry no woman. He just had a lot of kids. He has a lot of old ladies. So I thought my grandfather was cool.
I feel sorry for him, and I'm jealous of him at the same time.
Well, this is what he said.
Because there's two sides to that story.
He always said like that. You could only make what you can. That's what he would tell me. Like, don't have kids that you can't raise. Because he goes, I have 64, but all my kids live in a home.
Wow.
All my kids have an education.
Wow.
So and every family was taken care of. And I don't believe in all of his practices. I'm Catholic. I just don't believe in everything he does, but that's fine because he did look out. He knows the name of every kid. Every one of his has 3 names. So my dad, Rafael Emilio Salvador, he would call them by all 3 names. Each one of his kids. So
amazing.
And that's just. But you have a big farm. My grandfather we have 400 acres, and you need a lot of people to work. So that's the concept. All of them have.
So everybody knows cigars. All 64 of those kids could probably break down cigars like you just did.
They all do. Yeah. And we all we eat on big tables. We have a lot of people on our tables. There's always cigars on the table. So I've always wanted one. We're always smoking. There's a lot of smoke everywhere. So I was always asking when are my lungs strong enough so I can smoke with y'all? And my grandpa would just look at me. He's like, soon, one day. When I hit 12, he finally gave me my first Connecticut. And he said, smoke this. And he goes, it's not going to taste like anything to you because you know what the fuck you're doing. But go through the motions. I'm going to teach you how to smoke.
What?
So watching him and I learned. So I've been smoking since I was 12. But not like you guys get it. Like all I was getting was 1 leaf. So you guys get a complete cigar. I was getting from a priming that he chose because his idea was you're going to be able to identify each part of this plant.
Wow.
You have to. Each priming has a different flavor, a different strength, and he wanted me to learn. We grow 6 different types of tobacco, so at every priming, he wanted me to know exactly what we had because that's how you blend, knowing each part.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, at the StickMen Podcast today with GTO Cigars, we actually got an audience behind us. We got the fellas in the house that are in town. We got man Dennis, we got Ron, we got StickMan Remy. Y'all know who StickMan Remy is. Y'all seen him on the podcast in the past. So what's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up, man?
How y'all like the Duality?
Love it.
Yeah. And Oscar, how do you like the Duality? It's your first time having it, right?
I love it. It's got a nice little smokiness that just
Yeah.
comes off the top.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
It's quickly become one of my favorite go-to whiskeys now, man. And it's actually a double malt whiskey. It actually won, I think 2018 or 2019, it actually won an award in the San Francisco Whiskey Award show for for the best double malt. First of all, I didn't even know there was such thing as a double malt category because we know about single malt and all that, and we know about blends and all that, but this is a double malt.
They created their own category.
That's right. And they call it the happy accident because their master distiller actually knocked some wood or something in the in the distill in the batch by accident, and he decided to try it, and he's like, oh shit, this is pretty good. So that's what we're drinking, and they decided to market it, and it's taken off. It's a good whiskey. So thank you again, ASW. So man, you killing the game right now with some knowledge, man.
Well,
so
let me chime in real quick.
Yeah.
Now, your grandfather taught you the way to do it and everything. Do you still follow those same principles? I know you come with a different angle. Do you just stick to the tradition the way you do it, or you like, you know what, we can do something a little different? I guess with modern
put your own spin on it or
something
something
like that.
Yeah.
I do make room for innovation,
right?
And what's new, because unfortunately I think we're losing our smokers. Too many guys are, because this is what I find. You understand? I'm a physician too, so what I tell cats all the time is, you got to be careful with this, because this is a beautiful thing. But if you let yourself go, when you don't do it in moderation, you'll find yourself. So this is mild sauce. Mm-hmm. You're gonna easily go into asking for hot sauce, because once you've had mild, everything it's all about stimulation to the brain. Everything you do, running, walking, talking to a person, whatever you do, you stimulate. You're gonna. There are hormones that are produced, and those things that come out of your head, those endorphins, is what makes you feel hot, right? So if I'm giving you mild sauce, everybody started on mild sauce, whether it be acid, those mild cigars. You're gonna want more of what's in this that makes you get happy, and what makes you happy is the nicotine. So there is nicotine in this. There's nobody can sugarcoat that. Nobody should ever cover that up.
Yep.
There's nicotine. The stronger the cigar, the more nicotine it has. So whenever you smoke heavy, full body, I see cats come to me, I need full body.
Full body.
All they want is nicotine. So I tell them, you can go get a box of cigarettes and just get wired, because that's what you want. If you're looking for getting hammered, this is the wrong thing to do it with.
That's not what this is about, actually.
Not at all.
Not at all. So I tell people, gauge yourself. Check your pulse. Check your pulse. You can put your fingers right under your neck on your carotid. If your pulse is increasing as you're smoking a cigar, you're not smoking a cigar. You're just inducing yourself. So this is about calming yourself down. If you really want to cut the stress, you're not supposed to be perspiring while you're smoking a cigar. Okay, so if you're amping yourself up, then you're doing it wrong. So I tell cats, and I'm not saying that you don't have taste and what you're doing is wrong, because nobody wants to hear that. But I'll tell you, it is the truth that you want more nicotine. Are you addicted to it? If you feel like when you wake up in the morning, you have to have a high octane or high nicotine cigar, you are addicted, and you should come talk to me before I get into your pocket when you come see me in the hospital, because I'm gonna get you over there. There's no holds barred. When you come to the clinic, I take you.
So I got to stop you right there for 1 second, and I misunderstood something completely that you said earlier. You said I wanted to go into medicine, but I ended up in cigars. But you did go into medicine.
I did.
Tell me about that. So you are a doctor.
I am a physician.
Okay.
So what happened? While I was on the farm, I was always healing the calves, the chickens. So I should have been a vet, because I first started on all our animals, because I felt sorry for them. So I was always putting methylene blue on my cattle. If they broke a leg, I would fix them. I would put a brace. And they were like, whoa. So they used to call me Doc since I was little. Any friend of mine that got cut, I would, hey, come here. And I would clean their wound. So I was known as the Doc all the time. And I loved it. So I really love the farm, but I hate being dirty, and I hate being bit by mosquitoes. And in my country, we have there's 1,065 mosquitoes. I've actually counted them in any 1 foot square space. They just fly all over. So I hate being bit. And so I just wanted to get off the farm. So I told my grandfather, they told me, don't do it, because this is what we do. And I'm like, nah, because I'm smart. I really want to go to med school. And I just went to med school. I said, fuck it, I'm going. And I finished. I'm an ER physician. I work for the government, public health too. So I do a lot of. But I'm really aware of what this does. So I keep on telling cats to just moderation. If those cigars that are intense, please 2 or 3, 4 a week. Calm down, because here's what happens. I'll give it to so to not dwell into that. So if you smoke too strong for too long, what happens is it starts numbing your palate. And what's in your palate is 2 nerves. Those 2 nerves come from the base of the brain. It's called the olfactory nerve. So smell is part of taste, completely. So when somebody says, I smell leather or I taste leather, he's totally correct, because it has to do every bit with smell. 80 to 90%. Don't know exactly the data, but it's all about smells. So God gave you 2 of these, so you can fuck one up, but you only get another one left. But they both run down the top of the palate. If the high nicotine, anything that vibrates the top of the palate, and you'll notice that when you draw on the cigar, that vibration is the nicotine that's in the cigar. It's burning the palate, and then the brain says, "What the fuck is this annoying me?"
Okay.
And so what it does, it starts to tune it out. So the perfect example, let's go back to this. When I was in med school, I was training in ER. They put me in an apartment right by the L in New York. So the train would turn right on my apartment on the 4th floor. And I didn't sleep for the first 3 nights. Because I could count the fucking train every 15 minutes. As here comes the fucking train. You know, but what happened after 4 weeks?
Yeah. You just stop hearing it.
I don't hear it no more because what my brain did, it tuned out that noxious sound because it was vibrating my auditory nerve. So with your olfactory, it has to do with your nose. That vibration is going to cancel, and then you're going to become what we call anosmic. You can't smell, and then you can't taste. So, and unfortunately, when you lose this, guys, I can't bring that back.
Yeah, that's gone.
So that's gone forever. So if you take yourself there, if you ever get to the point where things just don't taste normal anymore, it's this. Cut back. Start smoking Connecticut again.
Okay.
Like everybody else does. The other 80% of the cats that are home, not in the shops, buying cigars and smoking at peace. Let's get back to that.
Because I've heard some people, they actually shit on Connecticut's like, oh, I don't mess with the Connecticut's. That's too... So what are they saying?
That's ignorance.
That's just ignorance, right?
When I hear it, I'm like, okay, this guy don't know shit.
Yeah.
But that's okay because every mistake ends up with an outcome. And can I fix all of them? I can't. But
So
I can tell everybody, just calm down. Look, this is what I smoke. I smoke 10 cigars a day. A day. So I do a lot. But I start with a Connecticut in the morning. I love a Connecticut in the morning. That's when I could really, the palate is not really awake. So start slow. Get a nice little Connecticut. And in Connecticut, there's mild, there's mediums, and there's medium plus. They're actually full body Connecticut's. Espinosa makes a nice full body, La Crema. I love his stuff.
yeah, I've had that one. That's
Eric
good.
is amazing. I love him. Perdomo has some nice champagne. In every brand, we all know how to make a good cigar. So every family brand is good to me. Third party companies, I'm not really going to talk about those guys because I really don't care about anybody that puts a ring on a cigar that's made by somebody else. I'd rather go for the guy who makes it. So I go with family. And I tell guys, if you want to support this industry, the ones that are paying to keep this going and give you the freedom that you guys want to have smoking and getting out there, it's the family brands that are the ones paying all the fees. All these little BB lines that are coming out here, these guys ain't paying no attorneys. They're not fighting the FDA. All they're doing is taking your money. So think about that. Just support the cats that we're spending thousands every week to keep the FDA out of our pockets. So if we lose, these guys get your money, but the FDA wins, and your cigars go up another $2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So think about that and go slow. Connecticut in the morning. When they hit 12, I'm looking for a Corojo.
Okay.
A Corojo is a shade grown wrapper, nice spice notes. Normally hickory. They normally, for the most part, have a nice sweetness to them. Nice little spice note. Every Corojo does that. What strength? It varies, but it doesn't matter. But I will do a nice medium at 12, and at about 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm gonna look for a medium plus Corojo. And then now once the sun goes down, it's getting dark. Like I started early on this one because we're introducing the La Cura, but after 6 p.m., it starts getting dark. That's when I break out the Maduros, and I smoke 2 or 3 different Maduros. So a medium one, a medium plus, and then a full body. You know,
so the full body, is that like what you end the day with, the full body?
You'll end with a nice full body because that's when you can really taste it, and really enjoy it. Now, the cigars that I make, I will not put anything heavy in it. I believe in strength, but I believe in good smoke, good weight of smoke, but more so complexity. I want you to taste 4 or 5 things. If you're paying attention to your cigar, you'll notice that my cigars they'll transcend. It's gonna start medium. I don't give you a cigar that starts. The bottom of the cigar is called the foot. The top is called the head. When you start smoking the cigar, it's gonna start off medium because you got to warm the palate.
Right.
Most companies will give you power on the foot, so it goes pow. And what does that do? It knocks out your freaking palate. Now you're numb.
Oh, wow.
So the second, third, you're like, if you really think about it, like, what the fuck happened here?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last third, you're just holding on to a nub. What the fuck is it? So, and if you go around, you'll find nubs in ashtrays of cats that smoke those cigars. And now they're looking for the first third again because they want that hit.
Yeah.
Well, I do it backwards. I'm gonna start medium, move into medium plus, and finish full on any of my cigars. This is like sex. You go slow. If you want to keep on having sex, you're gonna go slow. If you go too fast, she'll never let you do it again.
That's right.
You know?
You done. You're like, oh, okay, I'm done. Yeah, it's over. So, when do you have time to practice medicine and run a cigar company?
But I'm the master of managing time. So while I'm driving, I got 3 computers going at one time. I got my phone, I got my mini iPad, I have one iPad and my laptop. And
See, but you just said when you're driving.
Yeah, no,
that's scary, right? You know that's a little scary.
I can multitask. So I tell people, if you can't do it, don't. Be
Everybody,
like,
when you see Oscar on the road,
get away.
Get out the way.
I am guilty of eating the lane a little bit. So if I'm on your right, just let me get my little space. But I'll correct. You know. And I'm watching all my stuff, and I've got sometimes if I have a patient, I'm watching telemetry on one. I'm watching mail coming in, and my stuff reads it to me. So
so you're listening to it.
Yeah,
okay.
I got a double thing on. I have one in here and one here, so it's always reading messages, orders are coming in. And I'm like, no, that guy wants this, okay. and I'll tell my phone to take an order. Yeah, because I just heard it, you know. So it's crazy. As I move from one hospital to another, I drive from Alabama to Georgia. So pretty much you're going to catch me between Birmingham, Montgomery, Alabama, the Gump we call it, and then we come over here to the hot Atlanta, the A. So I don't like mentioning the whole thing, but I come. Pretty much I hang out Midtown. I love all the spots. I love hanging with people. I love talking with people. I love smoking with cats. You know, so this is a beautiful thing. I've met so many great guys.
It's about the people in this industry. That's what it's all about. Yeah. So how often do you go back to the Dominican Republic?
Honestly, I haven't been able to go back because COVID really put a hard hit on us. I've been very, very busy admitting COVID patients. Pretty much work the ER from midnight to 8. So all day I'm moving back and forth. I might do some primary care, but I'm more of a vampire. So at night is when I turn on. But I'm a boss, so I don't got to be up all the time. Don't think I'm there like.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I get some Z's, man. I got other dudes that work for me, so I'm like, hey, get out there, do some shit, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
The lobby's full.
So it's your clinic then.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I like that. I love it.
Only
actually,
wake me up if you got an emergency.
I can't stop and bleed.
But wherever I go, shoot, I'll stop if there's a store. I'll buy some stick. Even if I have my cigars in there, I always buy other people's cigars, because I want to support the store too. You gotta support all these little local guys out. Yeah. I am gonna put it out there. Like I need in Atlanta, I need everybody to chill. No more. Let's slow it down, guys. We can't. There's no more room.
I wanted to talk to you about that. Yeah, what do you think of this explosion that's happening right now, man? You and I talked a little bit about this on the phone, right? Lounges popping up, cigar brands popping up everywhere. Start with the lounges. How do you feel about Now, I guess that's a good thing for business, right? That's phenomenal for business, I think. What do you think?
If you want to be alone, because if you keep on opening them, the 30 guys that go to this spot, if they open up 1-2 blocks down, then it's going to be 15 over there, 15 here.
That's right, yeah.
So he's not going to be able to survive. So we're slicing the pie too many times. It's not as easy. If you really, really want to open up a store, what I would tell you is shadow an owner. Be there with that guy all day and see what he does. Because he might look like he's chilling, but he's not. This guy is working. He's going to work all freaking day. From orders, getting stuff done. And I'll tell you the truth, the margins, the money you make is not that much. You got to sell a lot. And right now with this many stores, I think there's 170.
Yeah, it was 140 something just like 6 months ago. Now it's probably 170, right? They're opening all the time.
Stop. I would tell cats stop, because you're slicing the pie too many times. There's not enough people engaged in this to do this, and there's not enough money to go around. So you can't pay the rent. You're gonna fail. Somebody's gonna drop.
Yeah. They are creating new smokers, I believe, but not at the rate that the lounges are opening. There's probably disproportionate, I'm thinking.
I think so too.
Yeah. So on the actual cigars themselves.
Here we go.
That's interesting because not only are the lounges popping up, but now you get all these small brands that are popping up that Are some of them kind of like, do they fall into the category that you put the Tampa cigars in? What do you think?
I think if you're going with a reputable company, if a company is good, if your parent company, the guy who's making your stuff is a family brand, that you know that they cultivate tobacco, that they do all that, you're onto something, because you're going to have quality. A lot of these cats that are going down to Florida, and they go to this Johnny or Julio Jose that rolls some stuff. That guy got kicked out of another factory. That's why he's there. You know, like he's not. If he was good, he'd be where he was supposed to be. But he's over here on the side, and they're using scut tobacco. And unfortunately, just because they put a nice name and the story behind it, you know, it sounds right, but it's not. You know, and then they want to sell it for more. I had one cat trying to put me on his cigar. The guy didn't even know who I was. I was offended because the guy he told me to put my stick down and grab his. And I was smoking my dad's cigar, which is probably my best cigar, the Don Emilio. And I look at him, I said, "You want me to put this down and smoke your cigar?" I said, "Really?" I said, "Shit." I said, "Okay, well, man, you must."
He didn't know you were GTO.
He didn't even know who I was. And he's telling me how great this thing is. So I said, "Well, let's do some comparisons. I just want to know." I said, "That cigar, how long has it aged?" Well, he didn't know the answer. What's the blend? All he could say it was Dominican with some Nicaraguan. He didn't know what was in it. And then the other one, he didn't want to divulge who made it. And then I see the way it's made. I look at the construction. There's no triple cap and all that. And the guy's asking $16.99. I said, and so I looked at him and I said, "Brother, let me tell you something. The cigar I have in my hand is my best cigar." So when I said mine, he kind of like took a step back. I said, "My cigar only costs like $12, and it's 10 years aged." I said, "I'm gonna buy your cigar." So I had 20, and I gave it to him. I said, "Here's $20, but you're gonna need this." And I took his cigar, and I said, "Well, this is not well made." I squeezed it; it was thin. It was missing tobacco. I laid it up, and I was like, "Wow, this is nothing. This is not even aged tobacco. This is old piloto." You know, like that. Yes, it's Dominican, but this is nothing that any one of us would have kept. We got rid of it for a reason. You know, we weren't going to smoke it. We weren't going to use it. So we put it to market so cats can buy it. This isn't good. You know, I said, for $17, you know, and there was a guy next to him. He's like looking at me like, "Man, you're offending my bro." I was like, "Your bro's offending you, because if you gave him $17 for this, he's fucking stealing your money.
What?
You should be slapping this guy, because I wouldn't give him no free money. You know, give me what it's worth."
Wow.
You know, I said, "This ain't worth. This is a $2 cigar all day long." You know, so I tell people all the time, I said, if you want quality, go to family brands.
Go to family brands.
Look for those brands that have been there for a while. If a brand hasn't been out a minimum of 3 years, that's the test of time. You know, most stores back in the day wouldn't even talk to somebody that I came out with a line. You know, what? Another one? What's it called? You know, I don't know, shoes. Because I love blue suede shoes.
Blue suede shoes. Like, speaking of the patio, for instance, Gary, shout out to Gary. Gary knows his shit about cigars. You talk to Gary about cigars, folks, and he will educate you.
Big time.
Big time, yeah. But I don't get that from everybody.
Then there goes again to the majority of these guys that want to open up a spot not knowing what they're doing. It sounds good because it looks good maybe in theory, but it's not good on paper. If you need to study what you're about to do.
Yes.
If you're gonna do a cigar, know the cigar companies. I would know all the premium lines, know the medium lines, know even all the boutique guys. And then what you do is you make good relationships. That guy would have talked to me in a different connotation. I would help him. Because I don't not help anybody. Anybody that gives me a question, I'll tell you how to do it. But I do believe in paying your dues and paying respect. The top 90% of us that are in this industry, we have paid our dues. We pay our attorneys, because there's something more that's involved in this industry that people are not talking about. And it's this infringement of our freedom. Our freedom to smoke. To do what we want to do with our money. We're being taxed they're looking at, now there's a new disease that's affecting kids that has nothing to do with a tobacco related situation. But they just said, you know what, we got a lot of cigar smokers coming out. they're spending hundreds. Let's tax them again so we could take that money.
It's just it's a revenue opportunity, period.
And
right?
I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's cut this shit out. But if we don't band together and support that, they're going to keep on. The next thing they're going to do is take away our right to wear a hat. You can't wear your hat. That's it. You know, in this America.
Weren't they talking about at one point where you couldn't walk into a humidor and like grab a cigar? There was something that was on the table about a year or so ago, where they were you couldn't literally walk into a humidor to look and pick out a cigar or something like that. You know,
all the cigars are supposed to be behind glass.
Yeah.
And then only one curator will have to put on a pair of gloves because touching the tobacco to these people causes cancer. It does not.
Are you serious?
So so he would have to put on gloves and then hand you that cigar. You know, through a door. Yeah, you buy your cigar through a catalog.
Wow.
This one. Hand me A5. You know, and you go to the back and the guy comes with a glove and puts it in the bag.
Well, in Canada, they can't even put labels on them, right?
That either. It's all covered in white. So you have no idea.
You don't even know what you're smoking.
What?
Yeah, in Canada. So hopefully that never happens here. we don't want that to happen here.
No, that's what we're doing.
Thank you to GTO. They're paying their attorneys.
Yeah,
Pay your attorneys.
Pay your attorney. And is that something that is just being part of that's something PCA drives, right?
PCA
they drive that, right? A lot of that.
PCA is one of our. They're the ones doing all the work, and there's another entity that works along with them, CRA. So I always tell everybody to be a CRA member.
Okay.
This is what you do. Be a CRA member. It only costs $30 for a year, but you're putting for our right to continue to do what we do.
Okay.
All those little pennies help because I believe that the smoking population in cigar is something like less than 3% of all of the United States. Imagine everything you think you're seeing, all these people, but it's less than 3%.
Less than 3%, yeah.
So it's crazy, man. But we got to fight for all of us that are educated in this, that enjoy this passion, this art form. You know, if you don't treat it with respect, it won't go further.
No, it's not.
And the more we pimp it out and turn it into garbage, this was cool because all of us here, we're all about the same age. Some of you are younger. We used to remember the cool cats, the guys with suits, smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us feel good. We're doing this because that cat was cool.
Yeah.
You know, and so with that respect that guy did it, because if he was like a punk and just acting like an idiot, we would not relish this and want to do it. We would do whatever's next. You know, so let's treat it with respect. You know, less noise. I'm not really a loud person. I like cigar places that are
quiet.
You're
not coming to party when you smoke your cigars. You're coming to chill, right?
You're chilling. That's chill. Nice instrumental music, some jazz. You know, that's what helps you restore the mind, and it makes us all flow. It gives us good mental process, so we can continue to do good. If you keep on rambling, it's just a nutcase. You know?
Yeah, it's just a party at that point.
It becomes numb.
Your
senses become numb. You really can't enjoy it.
Yeah. So what's next for you, man? You going to PCA and all that? Will you be there?
I am slated to go to PCA. My problem with PCA always is that being a doctor, I can't find doctors to cover me. So being there that long takes away from us. So I've always relied on. For us, it's been more word of mouth. Cats and so we honestly we're in 1,000 stores, so I always thank God we've moved that much. Our brand is moving very well. We're worldwide. I just opened up Brazil and Uruguay.
Nice.
So we're heading into South America. I'm doing China. We're we're pushing even more, but we already are there with our other brands. You know, we do make other stuff that is already there, but I am moving GTO in that direction. So getting it with a better price, good quality smoke. We'll just keep on working at it, but one cigar at a time, one person. I'm not trying to kill nobody. I'm not making up stuff. I hate the people that bullshit. I don't like bullshitters. I don't like lying, that kind of stuff. When I see it, I'm like, oh, so I just walk away. Yeah. And truth, because there's nothing better than that. I like an operation where I don't ever have to look over my shoulder. I've never done anything. I don't do anything wrong. I don't even exceed the speed limit. And I got a GT3. I can fucking smoke.
You can get it.
I can get it if I wanted. If I want to race, man, I go to the track.
Yeah.
You know, I put my wheels on, I put my helmet, and I destroy.
Yeah.
You know, but not on the road. I respect, because the next guy I take out, that could be a family.
Yeah, of course.
You know, how do you live with yourself?
Yeah, you can't.
That's tough.
Man, that's deep. So PCA, worldwide, can you get your cigars in directly from GTO, or is everything that you do focused on the retail locations?
Pretty much, I've pushed away from doing that, just because our cigars are nicely priced, and I make sure that they keep them low price at all the stores.
Yeah.
But I do believe in this culture and this environment has to be, because a lot of cats can't smoke in their home.
That's right.
You know, and I'm 50-50. I love smoking alone. I've never had a problem smoking alone. That's where I do most of my thinking.
Yes.
When I'm alone, I think and I smoke. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I love hanging out with cats too. So I want cats, people to go find an environment where they can hang out, be a part of it. You know, and let me tell you this: if you love a place, and this goes out for all the cigar stores, when a guy likes a place, man, honor that place. Become a locker member. Make that place yours. And shop there. And love that guy, because that's your dude.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's okay if you visit other dudes, but stick with somebody and build that one. You know, and then maybe we'll have less nutness going around. You know, because I'll be honest, cats opening up some shit 2 miles down from another motherfucker, I think is wrong.
It is wrong.
You know, so if you do that and you're the same color, I'm a minority. And I tell dudes all the time, if you want to love me and you're a minority, don't do that shit to me. That's wrong. So let's not do it to each other. Let's respect each other. And this is not a racial thing. Let's not segregate cigars.
No.
Right.
No.
This is a unifier. And that has to be in everybody's mind. I don't believe in 1 minute that this belongs to any race. It's not white. It's not Hispanic. It's not black. It's everybody. It's everybody's right to be happy. So let's do that. And let's not start calling this stuff, oh, this is one generation, this is one group. No. This is for everybody.
It is for everybody.
Because that's how we teach the people that are ignorant that's wrong thinking. You know, if you keep it right, love all, that's money right there. That's how we're going to go forward, because we've transcended a lot. We've gone far, man, far. We can, and the sky's the limit. And I challenge every dude, every person, every woman, every man that's made it to turn around and help 10 other people, to help them move forward. You don't got to give them your secret, but help them. Because that's how, with all of us moving forward, we're going to be all successful.
Dude,
That's powerful.
I don't even want to follow that up. Thank you for coming on the StickMen Podcast. No, that's some incredible stuff, man. What you said really resonates, especially when you're talking about the conversations with people and the different people that you meet. I've met some people in the cigar lounges that on the surface, you probably thought, yeah, I'm not going to talk to them. And they would have looked at me on the surface and said, oh, I'm not going to talk to him. But it's amazing when you actually light up and just sit there and you actually start having a conversation. You realize, man, we got so much in common.
Exactly.
It's just a cool person. Or even if we don't have a lot in common, they just a cool person. They have an interesting story to tell. But you never would have got there without this right here. So it's amazing, man.
I think the best story, sometimes we have a hard time giving each other, like, so sometimes dudes on the street will ask me, hey, give me 10, give me 20. You know, I'll be like, it's cool. If I got it, I hook the guy up. I don't care what he's going to do. If he needs a shot of liquor, man, go ahead, go get your shit. If I got extra, it's fine. But, you know, sometimes you think about it, man, just give that guy a $20 bill. He ain't going to do no with it. He's going to snort it or fucked up, you know, so I get mad. But if anybody walks up to me and asks me for a cigar, I have no problem giving them a $15 or $12 cigar. Like, hey, man, here. And I give them two. I say, yo, man, check this out. You know, and you just barter and you know, give. I love that there's no limit to what this thing does and the friendships that are made with this stuff. You know, it's just amazing. It's beautiful. If you respect it and you respect the game, wow, how far can you go? You
can go very far. And people in this particular industry, for the most part, really support each other, man.
They do.
You don't see, I mean, it's almost like, in some ways, it's obvious that from a business standpoint, they're competitors, but it's almost like we're frenemies, right?
Yeah.
we're in competition, but we're here to support each other and celebrate the lifestyle. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is celebrating the lifestyle. So, man, this has been Oscar, dude. You killed us with some knowledge today that I don't even think you scratched the surface. This could be a 3-hour podcast, and we don't have time for that today. But
and it would be interesting.
But I would want
3 hours.
I want you to. Can you do this again with us?
Sure.
I'd love to have you come back on, man, and celebrate GTO Cigars, y'all. This man, Oscar Rodriguez, just kicked some serious knowledge. I love this conversation, man. Thank you for coming on the StickMen Podcast.
And guys, Smoke de la Cura is our new cigar. It's a really nice smoke. It's my most full body. We've got the Hypnotic. Hypnotic is mine too.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I love the Hypnotic.
So guys, smoke it. If you're new, rock the Hypnotic. Hypnotic is a way in. I call it ground zero. Mm-hmm. Not that funky smell stuff. If you like that stuff, just go to Bed Bath & Beyond, buy some potpourri. If you do it, and I tell you, if you give me one, it's the best air freshener in the world. When it gets hot, throw one in the back of your car seat or under your seat. When it gets hot, these things give amazing smells. So
really?
I have one under my seat right now, and it smells so great. So
another use for a cigar.
Yeah.
Another use.
Smoke Hypnotic. Check out the Corona line, my grandfather's cigar. I'm doing what they call a shameless plug.
No,
go ahead.
This is what you're here for. Let's do it.
I want to talk about the Corona, which is my grandfather's master blend. That's a really nice smoke for under $12 here in Atlanta. Comes in Connecticut, Corojo and Maduro. Excellent Toro. A lot of complexity. Is a blend that he made in 1942, and I share that with all you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. That's a blend that I brought back from a long time ago. What we call in the cigar industry, there's a thing with the FDA that they are regulating, and it is actually law. Technically, all these brands that are out are not supposed to be out because the law says if it wasn't out before 2007, it's not supposed to be out. Your cigar was supposed to be tested. You're supposed to submit certain paperwork because the government is trying to regulate it and control it. They want to know what's in the leaf, how much does it weigh, so that if they come through today and grab this cigar, they're gonna go, oh, the GTO La Cura Presidente. They're gonna weigh it. They'll take it apart, weigh the wrapper, check the filler. They're going to check the filler because I wrote down the blend. They actually have the secret blend. And they even know the weight of the pectin that we use, the glue, the vegetable oil that puts it together. You have to give them everything. And the only reason why these dudes are running around is because the FDA is not enforcing the law. But I tell cats all the time, when the feds come through, they'll wake up in the morning on a Monday and say, this shit's real now. Because we're gonna start. And when they come out there, they're gonna be some dudes running and not know and acting like, oh, I didn't know the law.
Yeah,
that doesn't. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
It's no excuse. You've been told, and I'm telling you too, be careful because it is the law. Yeah, it's out there. And people are running. You're not supposed to make your own stuff. You're not supposed to put a band on your own cigar. That's called manufacturing. If you do that, you're wrong too. You know, and if you do a video of yourself doing it, you're incriminating yourself.
What?
So don't even do that because they'll catch that video, and one cigar, I think the fine is $10,000
for one cigar.
One cigar.
2 cigars is 20. 3, it's $50,000 and 5 years imprisonment.
Jeez.
Federal time. So
have you ever seen them enforce it?
They have.
Wow.
There's one company that already got popped, and that guy is doing time right now.
Wow.
So that's enough to keep me on the straight and narrow, because there's one thing I will never do. I ain't doing no free time for nobody.
No, fuck that.
It's not worth it. So
it is not worth it.
Think about what you do, guys. Think about there's always something, but do the most good. And try GTO.
Try GTO. Oscar Rodriguez, y'all, from GTO Cigars.
Oscar Rodriguez.
Salute to you, brother.
Salute. What an exceptional time.
Yes. StickMan Simp.
Hey, y'all.
Thank you for being here today. Shout out to the patio, y'all. Whenever you're in Atlanta, you got to hit the patio. Shout out to Keith, Gary, George. Thank you as always.
Appreciate y'all guys. Always appreciate y'all.
ASW Whiskey, Distillers. Duality. This is the shit, y'all. We're going to kill this bottle before this over. Y'all ain't going to see that on camera because it might get a little stupid. But we're going to do this. So thank you again for our sponsor, ASW. Thank you to our studio audience. Fellas, appreciate y'all being here. So don't forget to subscribe to the StickMen Podcast. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell to let you know the next time that an episode is coming out. Comment, let us know what you think.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. We accept feedback well too, you know. My feelings only get hurt a little bit. Just a little bit. So until
Playing
next
golf.
time, yeah, I know, right? Until next time, hey, you know what we always say, puff, sip, chat, repeat. I'm Reggie Kimble, Stickman #1. I'm out.